Hello there, and you're very welcome to another episode of the Arkham Avengers FFPL podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon, Hector, and Captain Fantastical Mick, where we take a look to see how the managers in this league are getting on for the season. However, we'll also be talking about much more. So kick back, stay tuned, and enjoy. Hello there, and a very warm welcome to this week's episode. I certainly hope that you're keeping well wherever you are in the world and that you're going to enjoy today's show. With me here is Eamon. Eamon, how are you keeping?
Not too bad, I have to say. The sun is shining. It's been a nice week. Making a change from the drizzle and the rain that we've had for so long. And it's nice to see the sunny evenings out there when you can sit out with a glass of wine maybe or whatever your tipple is and just watch the world go by. It's nice. It's refreshing. I feel invigorated by this. It's as though it's giving me energy. That's what I feel.
Hector still isn't with us, Eamon.
I noticed that, yes.
He sent me a message to say that he's still out with his back. He must have got an awful doing at that Easter egg hunt. I mean, I know you said there was a couple of kids jumping up and down him, but he says that he has a disc out of place as a result.
As I said in the last episode, I'm just a spectator. I witnessed the ruction, the whacker that went on there. But I mean, I suppose when it comes down to it, listeners, that this is part and parcel of the trials of acting the role of the Easter Bunny. And I don't think he was paid any danger money for that. He certainly wouldn't have been receiving anything for any stunts of that. And in hindsight, perhaps maybe Hector should stick with the investigating side of things, you know, maybe when he's trying to investigate mystery recitation people, even though that wasn't a success. However, Hector, if you're listening here, and I hope you are listening because you are part of this show, that you make a full recovery.
Certainly indeed, yes. So I wish you a speedy recovery also, Hector, and hopefully you're back with us in the next couple of weeks. We're missing you.
And is there any word of the other guy, Captain Fantastical Mick?
No, Eamon, nothing from Mick, I have to say, this week. I do see, however, Blackpool still in trouble in the championship. Perhaps it's a case that Mick is keeping a low profile.
Perhaps it's no harm for him to keep a low profile after that little bit of a faux pas with Blackpool, and perhaps he could take Hector with him. Nothing like the two of them lying in low profile for a while there.
Hopefully it's not too low and that the lads are with us here shortly. It's nice to have them back and to get their comments and view, which feels empty without them on the show.
And I was going to say it feels perfect without them. I think we have a good rapport going on here. There's none of this nonsense that you hear coming out of either of them there. We're pretty much straight up in the die here. It's football talk. That's what it is. Football talk.
Okay, speaking of football, I suppose we better have a look at Gameweek 31. Gameweek 32 is wrapped up today as we are recording. And, I mean, Newcastle are really putting it up to beating Tottenham.
Yes, they are really stalling out there. They should have European football this season, which is good to see that I think it's 20 years since they were in the Champions League. And they're certainly going to be in Europe. Tottenham are at 6s and 7s all over the place. And a lot of questions are going to be asked. I know Harry Kane scored a goal, but does he want to be part of that structure? And what about Son? The Sonny Son just hasn't been on Son this year.
So we will be looking at Game Week 32 pretty soon. We have Game Week 33. We'll have just a normal week, but I think it's Game Week 34. It's going to have double weeks, and that's going to be a kicker for a lot of managers who haven't perhaps kept a couple of chips in the back pocket. Okay, Game Week 31. The highest points were 132 and the average points were 55. The Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football League table looks like the following, Eamon. We have a new manager in first place. Kane's a keeper. Last week's number 2, this week's number 1. 82 points. Talk to us, Eamon.
They had 2 transfers and they lost 4 points as a result of that. Now, they went for Haaland as the captain, got 24 points. That's nice. We'll take that. And Alexander-Arnold, Salah, Martinelli, Solanke and March, they all pulled in the points as well. They've all been building there. This manager is going to be pleased. Like, it's a return to the top spot. They'll be pleased to get the point. And retaking first spot, holding first place now is going to be the battle here. This could be a defining moment. This week, next game week, and the following game week. These are 3 really important game weeks. And this could dictate who is going to be the winner of this league this season for the 2022-23.
And as a result, of course, they're going up to first place. Down to second is Toyega. 55 points, 1 transfer though.
Haaland was the captain, 24 points. Raya, Grealish, Martinelli, Marsh helped with bringing in a couple of points. The defence was a complete letdown, I have to say. Kane and Tony weren't doing anything. They're certainly not firing in any cylinders there. And look, this drop brings a run to the 5 weeks on the rise to an end. They won't be happy with it. I don't think they're finished. but they will not be happy with this whatsoever. There's no change in third place. The good, the bad, and the goalie. 58 points. No transfers, though. I also had Haaland as the captain, White and Watkins. When I look at the team, were really the only other players that were functioning in this game week, which isn't good enough. They're dropping now at the moment, and I think this manager could be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, really? Do you think that they could lose third place? There's every chance that they could lose third place here because they're not gaining here. They're not even really stalling the drop. Okay, they got 58 points. The average was 55. They really should be pushing much higher than that. Well, Talllega got 55. Yes, and Talllega dropped, went down into second place, and that's what I'm saying. That the good, the bad, and the goalie. Jerry needs to wake up. Jerry needs to suddenly switch on the light and say, hold on a second, I could be in trouble here. Like, he was sailing along there in third place for weeks on end, and it's as though he's decided to switch off slightly. So, Jerry, you're either switched on or you're switched off, but you're in trouble. Okay, no change in fourth place. Arkham Avengers, 79 points, Eamon. They had 2 transfers and lost 4 points. Okay, Haaland was the captain. Good choice there, 24 points. Watkins, Grealish, Martinelli, Alexander-Arnold, White, even De Gea, the goalkeeper. They were all in there bringing in the points. And the spoofer is certainly keeping the pressure on the good, the bad, and the goalie. And I think it's a case of they're hanging on to third place. The spoofer, for all his flaws, and for all of the madness that he does, is and has been chipping away at that buffer between himself and Jerry. And I have to give credit and kudos here. He might be losing a few points, but he's making points. And he's making the right sort of moves. The spoofer's on a bit of a run here. He hasn't been shook out of fourth place. He hasn't been under any illusions of losing the position. And it's a case of he's kept the head down. He hasn't gone berserk. Okay, he lost 20 points there the other game week. Let's move on from that. But I think they're putting real pressure on third place. No change either then in fifth place with Lafayette Lions, 72 points. They had 1 transfer. They decided to opt for Salah as the captain and got 28 points. Good selection there. And Haaland got the 12 points. Martinelli picked up 5. Grealish chipped in with 7. White was there and De Gea was there with points. The manager is going to be pleased with this week's points. They're still in the running for 4th. No more than, as I was saying, the spoofer is keeping the pressure on Jerry. Lafayette Lions is keeping the pressure on the spoofer. But the important thing here is they are now starting to keep the distance between themselves and best season ever. And as the weeks start to trip down here, best season ever, whatever chance they had of getting into the top 5 is now starting to diminish. And I have to give thumbs up for Lafayette on that. Speaking of best season ever, they're still in 6th. No change. 65 points. And no transfer. They went for Haaland as the captain there for 24 points. Joining him with the points, of course, is Watkins. Got 16. Odegaard had 10. They had De Gea as well. 6 points there. Not bad for the goalkeeper. Now, Gakpo was on the bench with 10 points sitting there. That's not a great move. And I think that instead of having Jensen there, who got 1 point, this manager should have taken the punt on Gakpo. They won't be happy with this week's result. And as I said, they're starting to run out of weeks now. And if they're making any sort of push to try and get into the top 5, that window is closing. No change either then in 7th place. Raglan Road, 54 points this week. They had 1 transfer and their captain this week was Tony for 4 points. I'm not sure what the logic was behind that. It is what it is. Watkins was there with 16 points. That guy is sitting up on the front line with Tony. So we have 4 points. Well, we have actually 2 points because that's all Tony got. Watkins got 16. Odegaard had 10. Now they had Gakpo on 10 points and Grealish had 7. Unfortunately, all the rest of the players seem to have failed to turn up. And I think realistically and in all honesty at this point, 7th looks like to be the season finish for this manager. There's no change either then in 8th place with Blightsome scored 64 points. They had 1 transfer also. They opted for Salah as the captain. They got 28 points. Good return. And unfortunately, there's not much else happening on this team apart from Watkins got 16 and Odegaard got 10 points. They had 10 points on the bench. That guy, Alex Moreno. There's not much point in him sitting on the bench with 10 points when the rest of the lads aren't functioning. This team looks like they're half asleep. I think Blightsome no more than Raglan. There you go. It's 8th for you this season. You're going to have to take it on the chin, Blightsome, along with Raglan. There's no moving now. And I know Raglan had said that they were going to push for a top 5 finish, but it's gone. Blightsome we've said this before, it just doesn't seem to have been their season this year. No change either then in 9th place with Water Beauty 99, 56 points, Eamon. No transfer. They decided to go for Trippier as the captain and got 2 points. And Who did bring in the points, I hear you ask? Well, Haaland was there with 12. Watkins had 16. Odegaard was there. De Bruyne. It's best to say no more about this. And this is just one of the, this is the Tweedledum. We'll be coming to the other guy in a second here now. And looking more and more like a part-time manager. What a beauty. Certainly, maybe they're spending too much time looking in the mirror at themselves. And no change in 10th place. Maximum effort, 57 points. And no transfer here. Haaland was the captain, got 24 points. De Bruyne picked in 8 points and Odegaard chipped in another 10. And the goalkeeper Raya picked in 5. Again, not much happening here. These lads are stagnant. This is the table as it's finishing here. What we're looking at here, we're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's their finishing position at the moment. I can't see them changing here. And in fact, I think that What a Beauty 99 and Maximum Effort, they should really amalgamate. These two guys, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, should become one. Maybe call themselves What a Maximum Effort. Okay, Eamon. So you said that these two managers should join together. I think so, because they certainly are going to do no worse. Whether they could do better, I don't know. Okay, and as for the rest of the table then, no change in 11th. Kalish Bates, 39 points. In 12th, no change. Real No Stars got 79 points. No change in 13th. Silver Stroke, 49 points. And finally, 14th place, Better Idea, 22, 23, 49 points. So that's our table at the moment there. So apart from Kane's a keeper moving and Taiga moving down, it's even Stevens, although as Eamon you've been pointing out, the good, the bad and the goalie has slipped up there and has allowed Arkham Avengers and Lafayette to close the gap on him. Eamon, is that our lot? Yes, I think that is our lot. I'm looking forward to the reviewing Game Week 32. It's amazing that when you think that we started all these months ago with Game Week 1 and we're now at Game Week 31. So much has happened. It's been a really packed season. World Cup was in there. We forget about the World Cup being in there. But yeah, it's really been packed out there. We've a lot going on with ourselves. And I'm looking forward to the last few Game Weeks and to see what happens and who gets that trophy and who gets the medal for second place and the medal for third place. It's a real battle. Kane the keeper is going to try and do a double, and Taiga is trying to throw a spanner in the works. The good, the bad and the goalie haven't lived up to the hype that we expected from them. And funny enough, the spoofer who I said, and I will hold my hands up to this, I said many weeks ago, I said their season was finished and they have turned it around. And I have to take my hat off to the spoofer for what they've done with the season, because they were dead and buried. They were down to 8th, 9th place. Everything was falling apart. And they have really resurrected themselves there. And looking forward to that there. And then looking forward to seeing what the summer brings and that there. I take it we're coming back next season, are we? Yes, well, we were having a discussion, Eamon, about this, weren't we? And I know this is our third season here as such, and we were talking about what we could do. And yes, we are coming back, ladies and gentlemen, listeners out there in the world. We're coming back for another season. And again, we will have a trophy. And if you haven't seen the trophy, go to Twitter and you'll see a photograph of the trophy and also the medal for second and third place. So what's going to happen is we're going to have an open invite. And we've already tweeted this. If anybody is interested in joining the Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football season for 23-24, get in contact with us. The email address is arkhamavengers FFPL@gmail.com. It's in the show notes, or send us a message on Twitter. We are on Facebook, but stick with email and Twitter. That's probably better there. And we're probably going to limit it to possibly between 15 and 20 teams. We won't be going any higher than that. And it'll be a case of first in gets their place. Anybody else then, unfortunately, may be going on a sort of a standby, a reserve list in case another manager drops out for whatever reason. And we will have the trophy. We will be ordering the trophy and the medals for next season. We'll have a photograph of that, or probably within the next couple of weeks before the season finishes. So you'll see what you're playing for. We also hope to have an interview with Devon. And Devon, the manager of Kane's a keeper, won last season. And he actually has a photograph up there. We'll try and get a photograph of that back up on our Twitter post of him with the trophy. It's not some sort of a scam. That's right, Eamon. No, it's not a scam. And I know some people probably would think, who is putting up a trophy of medals and what's in it for them? But no, we do this out of the love of the football. We do this out of the love of the interaction with the managers and the banter that goes back and forth at times. And it's lovely to hear from the managers. And we're looking forward to hearing Devon when he's talking and the season so far. And I think also that it would be nice to get an interview, probably with the top 3 managers when when the season finishes, to reflect on how their season went.
Yes, not a bad idea. I think we will get in contact with, we will be in contact with Devon, and I think we'll get in touch with Taiga and the good, the bad, and the goalie, both of those managers, to possibly try and schedule a meeting with them. Good idea, Eamon. I like it.
Thank you. I have many good ideas, and always come to me. I won't lead us astray.
Eamon, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the weekend. There's not much of it left. I know it's a Sunday. We're a little bit later coming out, but there's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, there has been a lot of things going on. And, listeners, bear with us. We will always come out of the show. Even if we're a little bit late, we will be there.
And as I said, we shall be reviewing Gameweek 32, and that will be out in the coming days here as well. Okay, Eamon, enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend and get a chance to get out. I know you'll probably have to be editing this, but I hope you get a chance to get out in the fresh air. I'm going to go out, and I'm reading a book at the moment.
Okay, what are you reading at the moment?
I've returned to a book I read a long time ago. It's John le Carre's Smiley's People, and I'm enjoying it. Sit there with maybe a little glass of red wine and enjoy it. It's nice, especially in this weather.
Well, enjoy the reading and enjoy the wine.
Thank you.
And listeners, as always, we appreciate you joining us, listening to us, and following us. I hope that you enjoyed the show and that you will be back to listen to our next episode. As always, as I said, if you want to get in contact with the show, you can drop us an email, Arkham Avengers FFPL @gmail.com, or you can send us a tweet, and we're at Arkham Avengers FFPL is our handle there. So until the next show, just like to wish you a good day, and I hope you enjoy the coming week. Remember, stay safe wherever you are, keep well, and have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Take care. We'll be back.